As United did when you were there.
That was always the key to keeping everyone on their toes, to keeping the quality in the training.
Yeah, but there's some players who are just like perfect for Pep's system. Like so, Rodri, I think at Atleti was racking up 60, 70 passes a game, like never 96% pass sack in his first game. I don't think he misplaces a ball. They've just signed like the right players as well who can make an impact now, and Liverpool unfortunately signed 2 youngsters. Well, not unfortunately, they're going to be great for the future. Like Harvey Ellis 16, isn't he?
Yeah, you're not going to play.
But not players who, although they've got the Ox coming back, probably a bit more to come from Naby Keita.
Naby Keita, Chamberlain, and Lallana. I think they're the kind of. It's a bit of both, but ultimately, I think there's a challenge here.
Yeah.
And I think that when you see the training games that we used to have, like they were incredible.
As intense as you'd expect with Roy Keane and Scalzi and everyone in.
I wish the cameras were there for them.
Really? I wish they were there for them as well.
But that's what you want. The manager knew then. Everton was
Yeah.
taken care of for the weekend, and he knew he could see that intensity, and Everton took care of itself generally, not all the time, but generally at the weekend.
Who actually brought? So would that be the players trying to push each other, or would that be the manager saying, "No, this is the standard I expect"? You know what I mean? Because
it was both. It was both. Because you knew the manager would be clever enough to pick a certain team, and everyone would think, well, that's it. He thinks that's what he's going to go for on Wednesday or Saturday, whatever the case may be. So next thing the game is starting, I'll show you.
Is that what's missing a bit now, with a bit of accountability?
It is, but look, they've signed some younger, and you look at Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah,
give him a bit more time. I think that's what everyone's kind of looking for. Even Lampard saying it as well. They know, look, that inside the dressing room at the start of the season, they will have been talking about, look, we want to win the league. Yeah, of course we want to win the league, but realistically, you've got to win the top 4. Get themselves back in the top 4.
When a new signing came in, I bet you were like, good luck, mate. I play 8 positions, so have some of that.
That was clever, wasn't it? The versatility. So you signed one player, you move another position.
So when did you decide that, not... Obviously, you were just kind of plugging holes. I'm guessing, with the manager, you do, at Fergie's discretion. But did it ever kind of bother you that you were just rotated around a pitch?
No. Well, look, that was one of the things when I joined Man United. The first year I joined, they won the treble. And you're kind of thinking...
Down to you, that as well, wasn't it?
All my influence from the youth team. Waving over at the lads.
There's this guy in the youth team that can play 8 positions.
We better win the treble here.
No one's
saying again, he's not getting any
But did you want to... Obviously, you played right back, central midfield kind of predominantly. Did you...
Well, first and foremost, I wanted to get into the team. That was the challenge for me. I'd gone on loan. I played centre-back. I played kind of holding midfield on a couple of the loan games and stuff like that. So the manager had seen me in those positions, but then I break into the team really at left back. So it was nuts really. And if you had told me that when I joined United, I would have been like, I'm getting in a left back. No chance. But that was the youth team coach, Dave Williams at the time, had said to me, look, you need to improve your left foot. And we worked on it for a whole season type of thing, and next thing you know, 3 years later, we're winning the league, and I played most of the season left back, so it was nuts. And it was just the manager could trust me to do a job, and that's what I was able to do. Certain seasons, whether it be I played a lot right back, I didn't really change a lot, and then I played a lot holding midfield.
Oh no!
It's a little bit
too much against United. Lingard,
slot him in, slide him in.
Off to Pogba. Oh!
He just knows he's in your fantasy team. He's not going to produce for you.
I know.
You're putting the pressure on.
Not for lack of trying, though, is it? What's going on there? So you played a variety of positions, but you got a run, an extended run in the same position.
The season we'd won the league, but we lost to Barcelona in Rome in the Champions League. Right. I played nearly the whole of the season right back.
Yeah.
The year before that, Wes had played right back, and we beat Chelsea in the final. Type of thing. The manager kind of. If you'd got a full pre-season and you started the season well, whatever kind of team, generally, not all the time, but he's certainly stuck to a lot of that team.
Yeah, I'm guessing not many people would have.
Chance for Chelsea!
What are you doing? Have a pop there. Is that Mason Mount?
Making there was
young McTominay.
Nice touch, but
McTominay just got away with that. just gone through his legs on the.
That's guff, that, isn't it?
He thought he was going to cut it out.
It's a big chance. Nice ball from Barkley.
Oh dear, Scott, that does not look good, does it, mate?
Oh, Mason Mount.
Not sure who he's looking for. That's behind.
Another chance.
Well done, Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka's been busy, hasn't he?
The crowd will be loving him.
Defensively, I thought he might. It's going to take him a while to go forward, I guess, because at Crystal Palace there wasn't necessarily that much like impetus or directive to get forward. But I think he's averaging about 7 tackles and interceptions a game. Like defensively, he just doesn't not look, uncomfortable at any point.
And even if he does,
that's nice from Paul.
Even if he does, his pace and power will get back in and he'll recover.
Yeah, good powers of recovery. Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka made the most tackles, won the most tackles, made the most interceptions of any Premier League defender last season. That's what caught the eye of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I think his performance today as well, so far, will make him another chance.
What's going on there?
Oh, Martial almost with the assist.
It's really open. It's a great game in terms of how open it is, but you're supposed defensively, with your defender's hat on, both teams looking a bit shaky at the back.
Look at that. Straight down the middle, John.
They'll be up now.
It's very open, this game, isn't it?
Oh, poor decision making. Final third from Chelsea.
That doesn't happen with John O'Shea. That's straight ball down the centre.
No, look, I think the two managers will be hoping to get a little bit. Look at
what's that?
Paul, he's not.
You
need a better reaction too.
Final third. It's a strange game, this, It's exciting, it's open, but it's.
Yeah, defensively. There's been a lot of waste of possession, which you don't really associate with these technical players, do you? But,
no, exactly.
Frantic.
You're thinking as well, first game of the season, that you'd be hoping that they can do a lot better from the games going forward, because, as you said, they don't want to be this open.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Scott McTominay's
going to get punished. You're going to get punished. That's
How,
what we spoke about at the start of the show with McTominay, the responsibility of having Paul Pogba alongside you.
Yeah.
You're going to really need to stay in that central area. You're not vacated, because Pogba will add the license to roam and create.
What do you make of Fred?
But look,
do you think he's going to get back into the team?
Oh, price boost on your screen now. Chris, sorry to interrupt. Rashford to score brace.
Please do.
Was 11-4. It's now 10-3. Go on, Dave. There we go.
Leave it.
You have to be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. All odds are live and subject to change, remember. So there was an interesting price boost for Rashford. And interestingly, on that, since making his Premier League debut, which was in February 2016, John, no Manchester United player has more goals in the competition than Marcus Rashford. That is equal with Lukaku. So does score goals for Man United, Marcus Rashford.
Does, but he also shows that
there's been no other prolific goals.
Exactly, they haven't really had enough of a competition and a high number that they've been reaching at the end of the season. So hopefully that'll change this season.
Smithy, have we got a quiz today?
Oh, do you know what?
Offside. It's a goal, it's in the back of the net, but we have a feeling that we ruled offside. It has been. Marcus Rashford, lovely finish.
We need it,
Interesting you mentioned the quiz. Go on, you did it.
On this, they are checking this. Rashford, the ball is in the back of the net. 34 minutes gone. Rashford has the ball in the back of the net. Looks like it's offside.
Or is he going to give it free?
But they are. I think they're looking at
Kovacic. They're not looking at a straight red for that.
Straight red.
I think they're looking at where the ball's come off though to see if it's offside or they're not. Because if it comes off Kovacic,
it's not red, is it?
No, they're looking at whether it's offside because of who's had the last. And that's what they're looking at.
Keep up, Dave. Honestly, mate.
So Kovacic, hence why it's going to VAR. So this Kovacic, just to confirm, has gone in with a tackle. No. He is offside. The goal doesn't stand. That's what they were looking at for VAR.
You can't. There's no screen at United, is there? This is one of the only grounds that you don't know what's going on.
Just 4 yards offside. Is that Tony again? No, that's Rashford.
And we're straight down the other end with Chelsea. End to end. Barking the Ross! John, what is going on with the defenders today? Talk to them.
The whole midfielders.
Any dangerous guys plugging into the game? I've got a John O'Shea related quiz. Right, we do every episode. Well, not every episode because consistency hasn't been there. So the fifth most highly decorated. I mean, probably not. Highly decorated Irishman of all time in terms of trophy haul. So name the other four.
Roy Keane.
Ding,
Dennis
ding, ding.
Irwin.
Ding, ding, ding. The next two, I'll let you know.
So go on, just repeat that.
Robbie
I'll let
Keane.
them fester.
Liam Brady.
Less of it. You've just told him.
We didn't. You're just going great.
Go on, repeat the quiz, Chris.
John O'Shea is the fifth highest decorated Irish footballer in terms of domestic silverware.
Yeah.
Maybe not including the Irish League and so on and so forth, or we'll asterisk it with that. Who are the other four? We've had Dennis Irwin, we've had Roy Keane, and that's two of them.
Yeah. Robbie Keane.
Stephen Carr.
Good question.
Stephen Carr played for Blues, and I love Stephen Carr, but he's definitely not.
No, there's going to be some from back in the day, surely there's going to be.
Well, keep going, gentlemen.
Get involved, Will.
Get involved. Using the hashtag the football social.
Is there a former Liverpool player?
Famous Irishman.
I'm not going to give out any clues, okay? Because you've already got 2 annoyingly quick.
Ray Houghton?
No, good guess though.
Ooh.
Kurt Zoom's just got in the book.
Ronnie Whelan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ronnie Whelan.
John, you're really rubbing me up the wrong way, mate, over there. Respect the quiz, please.
I won't help them anymore. Thank you.
It's a good quiz.
Apologies.
Glenn Whelan?
Glenn Whelan.
Is he Irish?
He is.
Fantastic.
Glenn Whelan, mate. He's the Irish Shabby.
Exactly.
Captained Ireland at Euro 2016, didn't you, John? Was that the same season that Sunderland went down? Mixed emotions, that is.
I've upset man.
You said Ronnie Whelan.
Ronnie Whelan.
Unbelievable. Welcome to the football social.
Can the next quiz come to
Great to have you on the show, John. So relegation.
We won't be whispering any answers yes moving forward, will we?
But won't whisper anymore.
No, go on.
They've gave up on it.
Can we just confirm? I think we're still waiting for the 4th person. So there are 4 people.
You've got Whelan,
decorated.
you've got Irwin, you've got Keane, yeah.
Yeah. So there's one other person.
About that
When you say
relegation.
decorate, what are you talking about? Is it like a trophies or what?
Oh, no, he's been, yeah.
No, because
It's not paint to decorate.
How many trophies did Robbie Keane win? He didn't need trophies.
He didn't win, he did, he? No?
Yeah.
He won the
He was the most
League Cup with Spurs.
He was the most capped, wasn't he?
Yeah, Robbie's the most capped.
And record goal scorer.
Stephen Carr actually won the League Cup with Birmingham in 2011.
Hold on, so what are we saying? He's won the most trophies?
Yes.
The boy?
Yeah, Craig
So
Gallagher.
it's definitely not Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
We've got 3 of them. There's one other. Chris, I think you'll have to reveal who the 4th person is.
Damien Duff.
Liam Brady.
Damien Duff.
No.
Begins with H.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that anymore.
John.
Just DM me, John.
We'll leave it to half time.
Poor free kick for Chelsea.
Moving on.
So apparently we're leaving it till half time. So that is
seems
motivation for you to stay with us on this stream.
Get the comments, ablaze.
Yeah, or let us know what you think in the comments. Anyone got it? Any suggestions, Will?
Lots of Damien Duffs at the moment. A cheeky shout for Phil Babb, but that doesn't begin with a H unless it's Hill Babb. Nothing of yet, no. John's got a glint in his eye that he knows it, but he can't reveal it because he's worried.
Get reprimanded again. That is like 16-17.
Nice and confident.
That was either brilliant play from Maguire, or we got dispossessed again.
Why is he putting his hands up? It's his poor pass.
Go on.
Chelsea on the attack.
Again. Space. Where's Wan-Bissaka?
Barkley!
There's left
foot of
David De Gea.
up there with his feet.
So
The
good.
follow-up.
Barkley with the chance straight to David De Gea.
Look how open they've been.
It's incredible how open Man United have been.
Chelsea
Chelsea.
To be fair, Lampard will be so disappointed that they're still behind here.
Do we want the answer? Do you want
I've
close?
got I've got a H.
You got go on.
Houlihan.
No. Where's Houlihan? Are you? Was that a serious answer?
Hang on, is the Championship not one of the best leagues in the world? Exactly. Thank you, John.
The Irish Messi.
Go on, Chris. Reveal who it all is.
Steve Highway.
My way or the highway?
Well, I think we know that now, don't we? Of
course it was.
That was great. That was Chris. Well done, mate.
Well done, Chris Campbell.
Apologies, Chris. I won't ruin any more quizzes for you.
All right, John, just give it 5 minutes, John. I'm still upset, mate.
Last 5 minutes of the half. Chance for Chelsea.
Wan-Bissaka there another.
They've just hit the underside of the post.
How is it not level?
Already hit the post in the first half.
How is it not level?
And there's a cutaway of Frank Lampard in his baby blue shirt, looking dapper as always, but he cannot believe Chelsea are still 1-0 down. Tammy Abraham hitting the post earlier in the half and underside of the bar. David De Gea planted.
Wan-Bissaka got caught to the ball there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think a bit of communication better there with Lindelof, and he'll just be able to head it away. I think Lindelof might have just nicked it away from him.
Emerson with a big shot, as close as you can get without it going in.
That post has been United's best player. It's saved them twice now.
3 attempts on target for Chelsea, 2 for Man United.
It's just midfield for both teams.
1-0.
So open.
That post will have its own Twitter account in about 20 minutes. It's in a big half.
Great first half for the first
Have a
show
dig.
of
Have
the
a dig.
season.
You know. And we've all learned something about Steve Highway. So.
Everyone's a winner.
That's the Football Social.
Exactly.
Who is Steve?
Is he a good lad, Steve Highway?
He is.
Legend.
I went to trial on Liverpool when I was 16, and Steve. That's where I met Steve Highway for the first time.
Is that obviously United and Liverpool have that strong Irish connection? You know, if you get a call to either one of those clubs, is that like the promised land? As a youngster,
it was amazing going over there. I went over there for a weekend, played in a game, and they wanted me to come back every weekend and take playing more games and stuff, but I couldn't commit to that because I was
getting a ferry every weekend.
Could you imagine? They had planes as well back then.
I'm really enjoying the relationship between John O'Shea and Chris Hamill unfold during the show.
That's expensive, getting a plane every week. I mean, Liverpool probably.
What have you done there?
Oh, nice and calm.
I'm just trying to be.
So who would that have been? I've been like Gerald, like who would have been in charge of before? Like Roy Evans?
I think Roy Evans. Roy Evans was the manager. Yeah, and but I decided I couldn't commit to that, and then they just sent me a letter then to say that they'd keep an eye on my progress over the next coming years, and we went and won the European Championships with Ireland under 16 up in Scotland, and next thing I signed for United.
Wow.
So,
and was that always the long-term ambition? You weren't too kind of crushed at turning down the opportunity to go to Liverpool?
No, well, it was at the time I had a year to go in school, the equivalent of kind of A levels.
Yeah.
So my mum and dad, well, my dad wasn't. My dad was like,
Do your homework.
My mum was like, "Hey, you got to finish your school." And look, thankfully it all worked out. I was very close to signing for Celtic, but United just came in at the last minute. And
Chris Hamill is a big Celtic fan. There you go.
So,
I'm winning them back, am I? Are you happy with Neil Lennon and Mr. Duff? And John Kent, is it John Kent? John's assistant?
Yeah, John's still there. Obviously not very happy with Brendan Rodgers departed the club, but a bit underwhelming Neil coming in, but he's slowly sort of winning everyone over, isn't he, with the performances at the start of the season. And
chance again, good chance again.
He's not going to be the same Neil Lennon as 7, 8 years ago.
Chance for United.
Go on then, Martial.
A few minutes left in the first half. Man United on the edge of Chelsea's box. Are they going to carve out another chance before? No, they are not.
Don't stop.
You played to the whistle there, Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
So wasteful in possession, both teams. Yes.
Round the back.
Chance again. Get in the box. Take him on.
Oh, lovely pass.
Combination.
It's the final third for both teams here. Like, it's just
So we're in the 44th minute, not long left of the half. Do not forget, at half-time we will be doing a Q&A, easy for me to say, Q&A with our guest, John O'Shea. So get your questions in at SoccerM, at Football Daily to John O'Shea. We will read the best ones to him at half-time.
Good recovery then from Harry Maguire, just getting back in.
Despite
United
the
then should
scoreline.
just settle it down a bit just before half-time. It has been a bit...
This will be a stat.
too open.
This will be a stat that'll be music to your ears, John. Man United have lost none of their last 132 home league games when scoring first since Liverpool won 4-1 in March 2009. Chelsea currently 8-1 to end that run of United's and come away with a win today. That is with Sky Bet. Don't forget, it must be 18 plus. So good stat. You like that sound of that?
What
about on the flip side, if you're losing at half time at Old Trafford, what was the general reception from Fergie?
Oh, it wasn't. Especially if you made a mistake just before half time. Because that was fresh.
Now, in this time now, yeah.
Just as he's about to walk in,
you go to the toilet.
It's fresh. It's fresh in his mind, and you're getting it. You're the first, no matter what, even if you've had the best game of your life, if you just made a mistake and we're losing just before half time.
What are we talking like in your grill, like?
Close enough, yeah. Close enough. Yeah.
John, also, as good as that stat was, I have been reliably informed that the last time that was broken, when Liverpool won 4-1, you actually started that game.
Yeah, I know. That's what I
was told to say that.
Don't worry, I was going to say it, and then I thought,
and then we'll talk about the relegation after that.
Right. Taking. Has the injury time been? There we go.
Despite the
2 minutes injury time.
I don't think Chelsea would be too annoyed with
because of the way they played.
They played really well.
One Zuma mistake.
Lampard's isn't this not going to be too damaging? If it stays at the very end and they keep performing to this level, I think Chelsea fans will probably might have won a few doubters over. They've controlled the game.
Especially he's going in there at half time. You can't really be too upset.
Yeah.
Obviously, stop hitting the post. Put it in the corner. No, look, they have played well. They've probably, I know they're behind, but they've probably played the better stuff at times.
Has Mason Mount sitting a little bit more now? Looking alongside Jorginho, do you think they've changed shape a little bit?
Maybe push Barkley up a bit more.
Look at him there. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at Kovacic, 17. Yeah, I'm looking at Kovacic. So that was completely wrong.
Played him
Absolute fabrication.
In pre-season, it was Jorginho who was dropping in, mainly in that bottom of the diamond.
Right.
Kovacic was to the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I don't remember now. Was it Mount to the left?
Yeah, Mount's 19.
And then Barkley or Pedro at the top. They'd switch it up in behind Abraham.
They've got good options on the bench, haven't they, to completely change it.
I mean, being banned from a transfer window but still signing Kovacic and Pulisic isn't too bad, is it? There's still strength in the team, but just not in that centre forward area.
Where's
surely the last chance of the half now?
He's still at the club.
He's not even on the bench.
That's right. They've just not fancied him at any point after buying him. Was it from Marseille?
Keeper's got to be strong here. Nice and solid.
Good hands from David De Gea. Surely that is going to be the half-time whistle we expect.
He needs a good solid start to the season, doesn't he, after the end of...
Yeah, I think that was just a bit of everything, wasn't it? After the run that they'd gone on when Solskjaer had come in, when Ollie had come in. The next thing, was it the last maybe 12 games?
Yeah, he went something.
Obviously there was a bit of a dip, and he, as you said, did affect him.
There is the half-time whistle. It is Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0 at the halfway stage, courtesy of that Marcus Rashford penalty after Kurt Zouma gave it away. These are the scenes. Tammy Abraham looks a bit gutted with that shot, and Emerson as well. Both players having shots that have hit off the woodwork. Frank Lampard's face, he looked dejected when he saw that, both of them, and it's been quite a good half for Chelsea in a weird kind of way. They've played well, just haven't scored.
Exactly, they have done, and I think Solskjaer as well getting in there will be talking about the gaps in the middle there, not just the midfield but the defence at times. Just when Chelsea were countering, you just need to make sure, Scott McTominay especially, just make sure you're in that position. It's so key, especially Pogba's going to get forward, the licence the other players have, Lingard, Pereira, they're going to really join in. So
not seen an awful lot of Pereira.
No.
And there's the man walking down the tunnel, Marcus Rashford, who made the difference. No doubt it was a penalty, Stonewall penalty. Zuma on Rashford. Rashford slotted it away, so it is 1-0 to Man United at the halfway stage.
You were a bit worried about the run-up at the start, weren't you? You were a bit worried about the run-up.
It was too straight.
Every
time Henrik Larsson used to take a penalty, he's dead straight, and my dad would be like, he's going to miss this. He's going to miss this. He's too straight.
We'll give you some match stats as well from the first half. Here they are. The one that matters is, of course, the one at the top for Man United fans. It is 1-0. Only one booking. Attempts-wise, though, look at that. Chelsea with 8 compared to Man United's 5. On target as well, Chelsea winning that 3-2. Corners are the same. And possession-wise, Chelsea 53 to 47. So it's been a very good first half for Chelsea.
United wrestled a bit of control.
They just haven't got the goal.
Wrestled a bit of control back. Chelsea, I think, the first 20 minutes had an awful lot of possession. Then it started to get a little bit more kind of scrappy.
I think there's also the incident that led to the Man United penalty. The ball was actually given away by Chelsea in midfield again. Like that's happened so many times from both teams in this half. In midfield, they've just been a bit careless, and then it's kind of created a lot of space as they've kind of gone forward.
With the quality that they've had, the two teams will probably be, as you said, a little bit disappointed with that. At sloppy at times, but for United to go in 1-0 at half-time, first game at home.
Over the moon,
huge, big.
Who are you most impressed with from United's point of view there, performance?
Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, the standout player for you.
Yeah, he impressed me a lot. His recovery, his positioning. There was one time there he probably, when Emerson got that chance, he probably just went in a bit too far.
Yeah.
But if he had spoke to Lindelof, he would have been able to clear it away. And but he's really impressed me. And Rashford's composure to dust himself down after winning a penalty and take it away, very impressive.
We're looking at chances for Chelsea, Chris. Same question that I asked to John. Your perspective, which players have you been proud of, happy with in a Chelsea shirt?
A little bit strong. But I mean, Mason Mount has not looked out of place. Jorginho's been his usual neat and tidy self. Emerson's been extremely lively down the left-hand side, much more so than came accustomed to last season watching him. Tammy went off the ball a little bit after sort of threatening first 10, 15. Like to see him get involved in general build-up play a little bit more, but he's not, has he? It's just become very, very scrappy in midfield. I just like to see a little bit more, ball.
Yeah, which has obviously led to like a really good game, hasn't it? It's been an absolutely fantastic game from him.
Good game though. Good first half for the first show of the new season with the Football Social, and it is half time, Will, so we can do our Q&A with our guest John O'Shea. Have we had a lot of questions in?
No, unfortunately not. Good.
A lot of Steve Highway related stuff.
Obviously a fantastic career, but there was an incident that kept coming up in my DMs, in the WhatsApps, on the Twitter. No, it's not Bournemouth. Don't worry. Nutmegging Luis Figo. Talk me through it. Did you know you'd done it at the time? And how did it happen?
Well, believe it or not, I was playing in Manchester United's team, so I had done it a few times before, No, but look, it was one of them things. When I was playing left back, obviously my stronger foot being my right foot, I'd cut in quite a bit, and obviously he's gone to close me down quite quickly and
bamboozled him.
Well, I wouldn't say bamboozled. I managed to knock it through and obviously keep the ball in. Look, afterwards, the amount of stuff I was getting sent T-shirts. it was weird, but look, it's just one of them things. I got meg myself plenty of times, but look, it was a good moment.
Fantastic. Obviously, we were talking earlier about some of them famous title duels, but we talked about the dink over Almunia, but what was it like in some of those big games? Roy Keane, Vieira going up in each other. What was it like being in the tunnel and then taking it onto the pitch?
Yeah, look, they were immense, brilliant games. They were the games you were gutted when you weren't picked to start. That game in particular, obviously, it's been well documented. Vieira picks out Gary Neville on the way back in. Gary, very cleverly as he does, just decided to drop it in. The start of the game. What's just happened to him? Roy doesn't say anything to anybody and takes care of business down at the front of the tunnel. It just worked. But that dressing room at the time was incredible to be a part of.
Fantastic. Another famous incident was you going in goal against Spurs.
Oh, I remember this vividly.
So does Robbie Keane. Bang.
There we go.
Get out.
No, look, it was. If it was 0-0, I wasn't going in. I think we were 3-0 up before.
United were very comfortable that day. I have bad memories of that.
Yeah, and we were going on international duty. Is
that after you said Keane shot?
Edwin's a big man,
Yeah. Did McGregor steal that pose off you?
The most nerve-wracking thing was taking a goal kick.
Was it?
It was weird.
That was more nerve-wracking taking a goal kick than it was being
just
in goal
stepping
and
to the side.
saves.
When you just put it down to the side and you turn back to the fans and
you get
you have to kick it. No,
first shot that came towards you, you must have been thinking, I'm a bit nervous at this stage.
If there was a clip, it's hilarious. I come out to because I played Gaelic football obviously back in Ireland, so I thought, look, catching it should be no problem. Rio was going to go on, but I thought, no, I'll be able to do a better job than him in net. So I said I'll do it. And but I come out for one cross. Oh, it's awful. Flapping. The keeper's punching it. No, look.
Look how happy Rio looks there with you.
He's not had to go in.
We were going on international duty afterwards, and obviously Robbie had a chance one-on-one with me, and obviously I managed to take it off him, so he wasn't very happy afterwards. But, no, look, it was brilliant. I auctioned the shirt or the gloves. I can't remember for a charity back home in Ireland, life saving. And they did very well from it. Lifeboats.
Did Keane buy them? Did Keane buy them and incinerate them?
No, it was good because it had been a bit of a tragedy at that time, say back home. So it worked out very good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Good.
Later on in your career, obviously you moved to Sunderland, became a Netflix star as well. But there was sort of rumours going around that the players didn't really want that documentary to happen. Is that true?
Yeah, well, look, at the time, it was just strange. You're hoping that we'd lost Pickford, Defoe, and you're hoping that the club obviously
big players to lose.
Yeah, look, crucial players, and you're hoping the club gets its act together, as in reinvest. You know, it wouldn't have took too much, and then next thing, obviously, it unfolded as it did. You know, and Netflix got the people around it that were doing it were great. I wasn't a keen fan of it myself, as in to be doing it.
Naturally, why would you be? Because footballers have to be very guarded. So
exactly.
Did you feel like you couldn't be yourself?
No, that's what I mean. Where I grew
genuine.
Where I grew up in the dressing room.
When stood around there.
Imagine asking Fergie that. Even volleying cameramen left, right.
As I said, from watching the documentary and stuff, obviously they've cleverly edited a lot of things.
Yeah.
But look, that's anyone that's come and spoke to me about it, they've said they loved it.
Yeah,
they really enjoyed it.
It was more genuine than the City one, wasn't it? Like it had a little bit more of a grounded.
It's the insight that you got from
the big thing for me. Yeah, the big thing for me was that the staff,
that was great.
How good they came across from it, because they are really the real committed, genuine people and committed to it, like the fans are too. So fingers crossed they can get promoted this season.
Yeah, deserve it.
I saw them out in Portugal, caught up with some of the staff and the coaching staff. So fingers crossed they bounce back.
So from that, a low light to a highlight, we've got to talk about the fact that you are in the Champions League winning club. Just what was it? I mean, I suppose. Oh, there's a glass bottle that's just...
The glass bottle's excited about that.
He's excited. What's that moment like? Because obviously, us sat here on the sofa, we can only imagine what it's like to lift the Champions League trophy.
Look,
and we've got photos of you lifting it. I mean, it just must be incredible.
Look, it is incredible. When we'd lost to Madrid.
There he is.
You're talking about that time when we were playing against Real Madrid in 02-03.
Yeah.
And obviously, we'd won the game, but we got knocked out over the two legs. The manager had spoken to us in the dressing room that day. There would have been myself, Wes, Rio, Mikel Silvestre at the time, who were still obviously quite young. Yeah. And he said, look, that's the standard you have to get to if you want to be. And obviously, took a few years, a bit of investment. Ronaldo arriving, obviously. Rooney arriving. You know, those types of players, Tevez. When you get that quality, but that's what the manager spoke about all the way back then. 5-6 years before that to get to that point, and then obviously you get to the final. What was it? There was 3 finals in a row.
9. Yeah. So you didn't start the 2008 one, did you? You started
the next one, and then I'd been out for 3 months. It was my longest injury, 3.5, 4 months for the one where we lost at Wembley.
Yeah,
to
Barcelona wasn't it?
That was a good team.
That Barcelona team.
That 2009 team, I was going to say, because United started the game really, really well for the first 10 minutes, obviously famously, and everyone's thinking they're not so immortal, this Pep Guardiola's kind of 2009 team, and then obviously they took control after that. But how did you prepare for that game, and then what was it like setting up against that Guardiola?
Yeah, look, you're wanting to press them. We were wanting the way the manager always spoke about it was, it's a final. We want to win it. You know, that was his belief, and that was his big thing. Go and win the final. But when we played the Barca in the semi-final in 08 to get to Moscow, it was a bit more tactically, right, we'll sit back a bit more, soak up the pressure a bit more, and obviously Scholes scores an absolute banger. So it was different tactics for each occasion.
Love that, Will. We're going to get more questions for you throughout the show, John. There's so much to talk to you about, but I'm pleased to say that we can cross to Zach Jalab. There he is. What a photo that is, by the way. Zach Jalab from Football Daily. I'm afraid you can't see this brilliant photo we've got, looking very happy, Zach, from the England World Cup back in the day. How happy are you now, though? Not going Chelsea's way in terms of the results so far. You're at the game, but not a bad performance.
Yeah, it's not been too bad, to be fair. I mean, it's a penalty. What are you going to do about it? It's unsurprising that happened. I know they scored it as a result, but I think Chelsea's been quite good, to be fair. It's surprising as well. Like I wasn't hoping for anything too amazing, but there have been some players there that surprised me. Kang Abraham's been very good. I think Jorginho has also been pretty good. Unfortunately, Ross Barkley looks really good in pre-season. I think it's but it's been pretty good, I think.
So you're surprised at how open the game is, because it was end-to-end chances, and it's both defences. It's made for a very entertaining game, but it's been quite surprising to us watching just how open the match is.
It's immense. I can't even put it in words. When it kicked off, it felt like someone had put it on double speed. I don't know why, but everyone was like sprinting straight away. Like it seemed like everyone just wanted to hit the ball first. No, there's no like taking a minute, seeing where the pass is. Maybe it's just being here and it's different to watching it on TV, but it's just been ridiculous.
And give us an insight, obviously you're at Old Trafford, first game of the season, Lampard against Solskjaer, Chelsea, Man United, it's a classic fixture. What's the atmosphere like in the ground?
The atmosphere is electric. Frank Lampard has probably sat down for a total of 2 minutes at 45. He's been out on the dugout, absolutely berating players, going in on them, and also celebrating when they have done well. He's been fantastic to watch. Ollie, on the other hand, has only come out maybe about 2 minutes in total out of the 45, but it's quite good to see the difference in management. Frank's very hands-on, where it seems like Ollie kind of lets his assistants do it, and then I guess in the dressing room, they'll be having a word with it.
Zach, brilliant. Great to hear from you. We'll try and catch up with you again later on. I hope the second half is more bearable for you as a Chelsea fan. These are the scenes, though. Perfect timing, Zach, because the players are back out. There we go.
John O'Shea's legged it, mate.
John O'Shea's just popped out. He will be back, don't worry. He will be back very soon.
He just saw, the latest off from Sky Bet,
He did. Very good, Chris. Yeah. Saw the latest price boost. These are the scenes, though. Players out. Kurt Zouma. Not the best first half. Kurt Zouma giving away that penalty. Rashford, there he is on your screen now, disposing that. What a penalty that was. We were talking about his run-up.
Yeah, really. United were probably a little bit more out of position, I think, than Chelsea's for large sections of that. Like Wan-Bissaka, and covering his centre back, and Luke Shaw inexplicably, found himself not up the pitch, yes, but kind of protecting the 6-yard box as well, and kind of giving licence that right hand side for Pedro to get the ball in, but. Yeah, I'd anticipate a couple more goals here. Actually, I think 1-1 was maybe low-balling the attacking intent of both sides.
There we go. There is the coaching staff. You see Frank Lampard alongside his assistant Jody Morris, and of course Ole Gunnar Solskjaer alongside who is club captain Ashley Young, not starting but having some words. We can't see what they're saying because they've got what a lot of managers now do, covering their mouth, so we can't see what they're saying. But both sets of players are out, and the match has just kicked off, and John O'Shea is back. John, I don't think you're loving these. Some of these.
We just said, mate, you saw the latest price offer and went
Sky Bet.
Get on the Wi-Fi in the corridor.
No Manchester United player completed more passes, made more interceptions or more headed clearances than Harry Maguire in the first half against Chelsea.
Worth every penny.
0 moments.
So 28 passes, 2 interceptions, headed clearances 2. So maybe we should have to talk about Harry Maguire. We spoke about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. No substitutions at this stage. And of course, for Man United, we've done this stat so many times on the Football Social. We should all know this by now. Man United have never, ever lost a Premier League match.
They're trying to get them to lose or something.
They've never lost a Premier League match at Old Trafford when leading at half-time. That is in the history of the Premier League. Drawing 16 and winning, wait for it, Chris Hamill, 263 of their 279 such games. So we're talking decades, this stat. Man United currently 1-0 up.
Look forward to wheeling again.
Yeah, there you go. The last Chelsea Boston the opening Premier League game was Avram Grant, who lost 2-0 at Man United.
What did you say the stat about Maguire? He had the most clearances.
The stat about Harry Maguire, John O'Shea, is he had more passes, 28, made more interceptions, 2, and more headed clearances, 2, than any other player.
Okay.
And the history of the Premier League?
Do you know
in the first half.
I've got some more obscure stats on Harry Maguire. I did a script on him recently. In his first season at Leicester, completed more dribbles than Dele Alli. Yeah, and only one player since he joined Leicester has contributed to more goals, elite centre-backs this is. Who do you think it is? Across Europe's top 5 leagues, only one other defender has contributed more goals. Yeah, because he's watched the video. Well done, Dave. So why is no one respecting the quiz format?
That's nice, though. You supporting it?
O'Shea, now it's Jackson. I can't believe it.
Right, we have kicked off. It is 1-0
as well, Chris. It's a great video on Harry Maguire. I watched it early.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
There we go.
Yeah, can you believe that?
That was really sincere. That's a good video.
So in many ways, like when people are like, "Is Harry Maguire worth the money?" You think, like, statistically speaking, his numbers are like up there with the best, but it's still like 30 million more than what paid.
Oh, it's yellow.
Straight red, I think.
It's gone, mate.
No.
Good walk, yeah.
Yellow card. It is a yellow.
But it's not Rafa.
Lingard with a yellow card.
Young.
47 minutes on the clock. Yellow card for Jesse Lingard. Just having a replay now.
Ooh, it's nasty.
John, Lingard on Kovacic.
John, come on. You can't defend that.
Red, that is.
John, are you kidding me?
Oh, the game's gone if that's what's right. The game's gone. No, he's a little bit late.
What do you make of Solskjaer's whole the way he's profiling new signings, he is going kind of young, he is going British, he is going, trying to bring back some attacking intent to the club after a few managers, they've employed pedestrian conservative football. Do you think that's the way forward? Feels like the start of a long-term project.
Yeah, I think so. And I think when you looked at who else was potentially looking
Daniel
at
James,
they're getting Longstaff at Newcastle, maybe Sessegnon. I know he's gone to Spurs, but that was the kind of profile of player they were looking at. And then if you bring into that the mix of Greenwood, Chong, Garner, the lads that went on the pre-season tour, you're thinking they've got the bones of another good 3 or 4 players coming in there that could really add and save them a lot of money in the transfer window.
3 British players they've signed in one summer. First time they've done that since 1989, Man United.
Do you think that United lost something, sense of identity to that extent, or are we playing up to that kind of notion too much? Because I think they signed 7 players for over 40 mil before that, and it's not really worked, has it?
No, it's not really worked. But you also have to respect that the teams have the City, Liverpool, Tottenham, the challenge that they've took on and gone, right, we're going to compete with you. It's best in Europe. So there's a lot more like years ago, if United call Leicester and say we want your best defender, it's done quite quick.
Leicester don't hold out for 85 million.
There you go. You look at the teams now, the power that they have. Palace with Zaha
and stuff.
They've lost more power with these teams.
Yeah, you see that Barcelona can still go and pillage teams in La Liga, and Bayern can still do that in the Bundesliga, and United can't now. Yeah,
it's a different.
It was the same with Mahrez, wasn't it, before?
When United go to Tottenham and ask for Michael Carrick and Berbatov, it was like
clang every time they'd just get them, wouldn't they?
They would. I think that was a big part of the Eriksen deal, is that Daniel Levy said obviously there was times when Man United were just cherry picking Spurs' players, and I think now that Spurs are in the mindset where if we want to be competitive, we can't let our best players go to our rivals. And I think the other thing we've got to bear in mind when people say, is Harry Maguire worth 80 million, is that the inflation now and the increase in transfers has just become crazy. That it's a player that Man United massively need. And you saw Brendan Rodgers talking about the fact that they couldn't buy a replacement because clubs knew they had 80 million in the bank, so they were getting quoted 70 million for Nathan Ake and Lewis Dunk for 50, 60 million. Not bad players, but
no, exactly.
You wouldn't say would be worth that amount of money because they know the clubs have got it. That's another problem that a lot of clubs are having.
And that's the thing with Maguire. He does improve the team. Yeah. He does obviously improve the starting 11. If you're looking to spend that type of money, the player has to improve your starting 11. Yeah. You talked about Ake and was it Dunk?
Lewis Dunk, yeah.
They're going to improve. Maybe what Leicester have, I think as well. Leicester will cope with Maguire's because of obviously knowing Johnny Evans as well, but the type of player he is as well. Whoever they bring in to play alongside him. Deflection.
Chance for Pedro, whips it as he loves to do.
He talks the game so well. He'll help them settle in, no problem. Whether it's the lad who started today, the long hair, the centre back alongside Johnny Evans. You said his name?
Sionku.
And is it Benkovic? The other?
So he was on over Celtic and he was brilliant at Celtic.
So as you said, they could be replacing from within as well. So
can we try and
corner for Chelsea?
Can we try and refrain from talking about Brendan Rodgers, please?
We can. We'll move on. Corner. Mason Mount is over it.
Zuma redemption.
51 minutes on the clock.
That's a lovely ball. That's put in the perfect spot.
Still not clear. Second phase.
That's where you see.
That was a lovely corner.
That was right in the mix there. He was involved in that clearance.
James Maddison sort of corner that.
Yeah.
Slink.
Throw in to Chelsea right on the corner flag. Rashford getting back doing some defensive duties. So it looks like the second half has started just as the first half. It's a good game, this. Very entertaining match.
John, one of the players that we were talking about there is Daniel James. You actually came up against him last season, didn't you?
Well, I didn't really because I couldn't see him. It was that quick. No, I think he could be someone. A game like today, that last 20 minutes, Chelsea be pushing if it stays at 1-0. That's a yellow.
That's poor from Jorginho.
Going to even up the.
Just lazy, isn't it?
Jorginho's very late challenge. Completely missed the ball.
He's not the best tackler, is he?
No, I think it's one of them. He has to make it.
To
do it
on Jesse.
The look that John just gave me out. You said, you've done that a few times. You know exactly what that feels.
He knows what he's doing there, doesn't he, Jorginho?
Totally.
Yeah.
So
look at the smile as well.
Up on the outside. I think it might have been Rashford.
So 2 big tackles. Jesse Lingard's been involved in giving one out and receiving one.
Yeah. Do you not think he came in for some undue flack last season, Jorginho?
Totally. And you see the quality he has, how he was helping Chelsea. Obviously, they ended up winning the Europa League. The quality, I think it's one of them things. When the manager was coming in, everyone's saying, he's just brought in for the salary board, all this kind of...
Well, first 12 games of the season when he went unbeaten, he was the best signing, since last spring.
I think the minute was so strange is that one of the other world-class players is obviously N'Golo Kante. You're playing him out of position to facilitate him, which seemed a bit strange.
It's a really good point as to how this game is so open.
Could work out.
It's a fair point, Dave, because this is so open. You think the fact that N'Golo Kante's not playing, you'd think that this wouldn't be that open if Kante's there sitting in front of the back.
Chance again, Lingard.
Also, imagine if Sarri had put Kante on the bench in a game like this, the Chelsea fans would have been bathing.
So true, isn't it?
They would have been out.
Frank Lampard's come in, not started him, and we've heard nothing about how a world-class player has been left out. Chelsea fans are fickle, and they fickle.
Nice.
Nice bit of build-up. Maguire's going to be a goal! Rashford,
again, where's Martial?
Look at that, Maguire's lining up at the back post there.
Who was that driven ball in? Is that Wan-Bissaka?
No, Pogba.
Oh, is that Pogba instead? Oh, I love that. Instead of just floating in, he's just gone straight into feet. Love that ball.
I don't think Martial's had the best of games.
Maguire's absolutely hanging at that back post.
Whips it in.
Still got faith.
Good period of play for Man United. Brilliant from Box McTominay losing possession.
But stopping the counter-attack as well.
Look how high United's line is.
Very aggressive, there we go.
Yeah, some tackle. There's been an aggressive start to the second half, hasn't there? From tackles flying in.
Lindelof there as well. He's really stepped up, hasn't he?
I feel like it was since the Juventus game under Mourinho when he was absolutely incredible. Yeah. He's not really let up since then. When they sneak a 1-0 win in the Champions League, was it?
Which one's that one? The Juventus one?
Yeah.
The 2-1 away?
Yeah, it might have been the 2-1 away, yeah. And I think he was United's best player, and since then the standard's been very, very high.
I brought my son to his first United away game last season. It was Tottenham. It was at Wembley. But obviously
De Gea
made record saves that game.
Yeah, it was incredible. But to be fair to Lindelof as well, he was really impressive.
I feel like that was a big moment for United and Solskjaer that game, because it was during that run where they'd won a lot of games but quite comfortably. And Spurs were the first team that tested them, and they still won.
People were talking about it. Remember, it was the pass from Pogba to
Rashford. Good finish that.
Really good goal.
Very good finish.
Good game. Good first game to take your son to.
Yeah, it was.
Who would you take out this current United?
Charles Chelsea!
Saves.
Where the second half has started just like the first half started. We are being thoroughly entertained here. Hope you are at home. Brilliant.
Who would you take out this current United side, John, and put it in the sort of peak United side from your years?
Oh, well, look, if they're on form...
Yeah, would any of them get in?
You know what I mean? Pogba does. Pogba would. If he on form...
De Gea...
Van der Sar.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Edwin.
They're close.
It's really close, isn't it?
Yeah, look, there's if Rashford's on fire, there's
no one convincing. Paul Pogba maybe.
De Gea. There's lots of potential, but it's a little bit. Not that I'm saying it's an unfair question. Yeah.
But do you think?
You'd have a lot more clearer answers on that one, I think.
But do you think that's the main reason why United aren't challenging? Because there isn't as many players that would get into a third team. You know what I mean? It's like
more than likely, but it's the squad as well.
The squad,
the depth in it, and the competition. They need to increase on that, and I think that's where. Strong again from Lindelof there.
Tell you what, referee is saying play on, but he's going to.
I think he has to go back to that.
Yellow.
He's made it look. It's a yellow. I think he's
good from McSauce.
It's a quick yellow. Another few yellow cards from Brandon. That's the third yellow card of this second half. Tammy Abraham is the latest to go into the ref's book.
It feels like he's getting a bit frustrated. Tammy.
Look at that.
It's the classic centre forward.
It's barely even a yellow.
I think it's the correct decision. It's not red. It's not a yellow. I think yellow is about right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit late, wasn't it? A little bit late.
No, it's not. It's just the speed he's going at. It makes it look, and how McTominay swings his leg around makes it look that way.
Hey, he's giving me eyeballs.
Smithy, a few questions we didn't get to at half time for you, John.
On.
One from a great username, Pieman55. What was it like to train with Ronaldo, and did he get past you many times in training?
Of course he did. He got past everyone in training, not just me. But that's what I'm talking about. If you're a defender, and then obviously you're facing him. One day, Nani the next day, Rooney the next day. like
perfect practice.
It's perfect practice, and that's why we were able to cope with other teams and tricky players that other teams had, because you were facing it day in, day out. Like he was, and he there was nothing better to challenge yourself against him every day, you know, because you'd watched him work, you've seen him working hard every day, and it was a joy to be up against him, you know.
When did that start? You know, when Ronaldo just started training obsessively behind the scenes, was it straight away at United?
Pretty much straight away, because we noticed straight away with his doing his ankle work. He'd seen Figo do it, strengthening his ankles, because he knew I'm playing out wide, sliding tackles, my ankles are going to get absolutely destroyed. But every day he was doing this band work to strengthen all the ligaments around the ankles, because he knew he was going to get kicked so much. That's one of the, obviously, as well as doing his press-ups, chins, dips.
I did an interview with Patrice Evrawaite. He announced his retirement, actually. He said two great Ronaldo stories in there. He said, one, there was a story about playing Rio Ferdinand at table tennis, and all the Man United players were watching, and Rio won, and all the Man United players were giving Ronaldo a bit of stick. And Ronaldo went home and practiced religiously for 2 weeks. They played again, and Ronaldo wiped the floor with Rio Ferdinand because he was just so competitive. And the other one that he told, which is a brilliant story, is that he would never go round to Ronaldo's house for lunch again, because Ronaldo invited Patrice Evra. Have you heard this story? And afterwards he said he just had plain chicken, rice, the healthiest meal ever, water, not even salad dressing or dressing on the chicken. Afterwards he said, do you want to play some two-tights? Then after that he said, do you want to come for a swim, go for a sauna? He went, mate, we're just training. We might as well do this in the training ground. But he said, as a competitor and an individual, he said he was just driven on a whole different level to any player that he played with.
And look, he openly admitted that he was going to go to Madrid at quite early on.
So did you know you knew that was happening in Madrid?
Yeah. I think we did well to hold on to him that extra year. We did. You know what I mean? Because he was desperate to go there.
Yeah.
So like when he first arrived, did you know he was going to be a special player?
I knew before he arrived.
Oh, it's a game, wasn't it? Yeah,
against Sporting Lisbon. I'm all jet lagged, but great reason. No, look, you could tell. You're looking at a player before the game, and he's like, he was staring back, thinking, okay, I was like, right, this kid is up for it.
Yeah. But obviously the half time was everyone
the deal was practically done. The deal was practically done before the game.
Right.
But obviously, what happened in the game was kind of like, right, let's make sure it does happen.
Yeah.
And I think it was done quite quickly then. But they were obviously thinking about maybe leaving him on loan at Lisbon for the year. But then it's all on a minute. This kid's ready. Get him in.
One final one here from Vincey. He said, which Premier League title was your favourite to win?
Ooh, 5 Premier League titles you won.
Yeah, look.
Was there like a run in that, I mean, obviously that goal at Liverpool was stand out.
Yeah, but the first one in particular, 02-03, we'd come back with a great run. Against Arsenal. Yep. But look, to play so many games as well, and just the first real breakthrough season for me to go and win the league. Wow, what a switch that was from Pogba. Nice and confident. But that was, all of them were amazing. But that one probably might just edge it. But look, it was, as you said, fortunate to get 5 of them was brilliant.
Obviously, you just announced your retirement as well, and there was a call from a certain Sir Alex Ferguson as well, I hear.
Did that. Look, he gets wind of these. Chance.
Ooh. Corner Man United.
He always gets wind of these things. Amazingly, he's got his contacts and spies everywhere.
It was before you had announced it.
Yeah, and
is that not a bit creepy?
No, look, obviously the press people and stuff like that, so you know that these people talk and let the right people know, as they say. But look, you just said make sure you stay involved with football, make sure you get involved in coaching, management type of thing, and.
That's nice. You're giving the vote of confidence.
Yeah, look, and to me, and always he'll be available at any time. Here's Maguire coming in.
Oh.
For any advice going forward, you know. So
it's not a bad one to have in the concept book, is it?
Incredible.
How much enjoying your coaching role at Reading, John?
Yeah, look, it's obviously we've not started the best, but the manager's just brought in a couple of new additions recently. And they'll have a big impact. I think the second half yesterday against Hull, we could have easily scored 4 goals. So hopefully we'll get the wins on board quite quickly. With Wickham in the League Cup Tuesday evening. So it'll be, going against a lower league team is obviously always a big test, but hopefully.
Going against Akinfenwa with that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a regular in the football social. He's very physical. Even on the show, he got physical with us. So I'd hate to go up against him in a football match, but we'll keep an eye on that result.
Yeah. No, look. Hopefully we get and then we have Cardiff at home next weekend. So no, I'm enjoying it, but it's great to. The manager spoke about it with me towards the end of last season, and to get in and have a little taste of watching him how everything works. It's the transfer window last week was big eye opener. So good learning curve.
Brilliant. I love that. You had a career that almost spanned 20 years. How hard was it coming to terms with the fact that it was over?
Yeah, look, it has been difficult especially when you're coming up to match days as well. That's when you really kind of do miss it. But obviously, I wasn't playing as much the last 2 seasons, so you can kind of, and the last 5-6 seasons I've been preparing, doing the coaching badges and stuff. So you're preparing yourself for it. Yeah, it softens the blow, but it's still difficult at times.
Chance for Chelsea. Ooh.
When you're coming in watching a game like this, that's when it.
I bet you want to be out there.
What is the number one thing you kind of miss as an ex-pro?
The matches.
Yeah, just match day.
You're not missing much of training and stuff. You miss the pre-season stuff.
Miss Ronaldo's dinner invite.
There you go.
Loving that.
And obviously the game days are the big one, but the dressing room type of obviously. You're still close to the dressing room now, but it's not the same.
What was it like? Like leaving Manchester United, where you had obviously huge characters, big siege mentality, to go to a club like Sunderland. It's still a big club in its own right. Great fans, like you said. But did you bowl into training like day one and think, this isn't Man United, is it?
No, but that's the thing. You're aware of that. Obviously, strong. Look at that, strong from Maguire there. Very good. You're aware of that beforehand, and obviously the season chance. Go on, Rashford.
Rashford's in it. Love it. Oh, just overhit the pass.
Jeffrey back to
Lingard. Yeah, come on. Still with United.
Great. That's the big
goal. Come on, United. Big goal. 64 minutes on the clock. Come on, Martial. Recently given the number 9 shirt. And he makes it 2-0. John O'Shea, you're very happy with that.
What a cross from. We've spoken about Pereira. It's been quiet.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. What a ball in.
That's like some vintage classic counter-attack.
And the position.
And maybe
that desire from Martial to get in front of the defender.
Oh, he's taken up a number 9 position there, not a wide left player.
Here we go, replay of the
Maguire.
Talk us through this, John.
The strength of Maguire.
All starts from Harry winning that, doesn't it?
Yeah, but cleverly, normally you'd say Martial would have been in that position, Rashford would have been in through the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, Rashford, you can see Martial's a bit upset.
Yeah.
Rashford's not come back to him, but look, stays positive. What's a ball in?
That's also
It was in the 4 there, just ducking out the wall.
It's an absolutely lovely whip in. Martial, 4 yards out, cannot miss from there, but it's a tidy finish.
Christensen.
2-0, Man United.
Why is he ducked? It's the wrong side of him, yeah.
Oh, is it no?
That's Azpilicueta, isn't it?
I was just going to say, there was
and he's taken an absolute.
He's taken some delighted with that, Ollie. Hugging Mike Phelan and Carrick as well. 2-0 United. Chelsea haven't actually played that badly throughout the game. No. United have just been a lot more clinical. 3rd goal in his last 2 Premier League appearances against Chelsea.
A lot more balance though second half, hasn't it?
Interesting sub to bring you as well. Worth pointing out, Christian Pulisic did come on for Ross Barkley as well. Tammy Abraham's also just gone off, so Chelsea looking to switch it up a bit as well. Tammy Abraham off for Olivier Giroud. That has just happened earlier. Pulisic is on. Barkley. Rashford, what a finish!
Checking it, they might go check it, but what a finish!
That poor Pogba pass should not be allowed on TV before the watershed. That is absolutely disgusting.
Hey, that was fantastic.
What a finish!
That's the quality. That's
Only
the quality.
Seconds between. We're talking about the second goal. The 3rd one's gone in. We can't keep up. 66 minutes on the clock.
We got a check.
Frank Lampard looks dejected.
They talk about obviously Lampard's making the change.
Yeah,
hoping for the impact straight away.
Is that Giroud's fault then? Yeah. Oh, that pass was outrageous.
United very clinical today, John.
Because as you said, they've not had. Well, Chelsea had more. They created more as well at half time.
Yeah.
Chelsea haven't been as good.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as good as they were in the first
half. It's a lovely touch. It's a fantastic pass from Pogba. Must be 20-30 yards.
The connection.
And the first touch as well here.
Nice little bit of interchange from
Jesse Lingard knocks it to Pogba. What a ball that is.
That's like a little sandwich.
Outside the boot, first touch.
You'd be happy with that, of course, wouldn't you, John?
A little 58-degree there.
He's just look at that. So when United win the title this year, John, do you think it'll be the greatest Premier League? Fantastic start.
What a start for Rashford. The pressure's on. That alleviates an awful lot of pressure, in the press. And 2 goals on his first match there.
You spoke about, obviously, Rashford and Martial getting double figures.
Good start for him. It's a perfect start so far for Ollie. Let's go to Will on the stream. I can see I can see a lot of exclamation marks and what must be very happy Man United fans. What are they saying?
Got my first Lampard out of the season. 67 minutes in. Zuma is more inconsistent than Ramos. A lot of people questioning Chelsea's defence. John, you'll have a much more insight than I have. What that line there was sloppy to say the least.
Obviously, we just said about United are 3-0 up, but Chelsea actually hadn't been too bad.
At least the first 45.
Second half, yeah. But from that cross as well, I think it was Christensen. Yeah. He looked as if he kind of not ducked, but he was worrying about the man that was close to him.
Yeah.
And Pereira did whip the ball in fast, but
a lot of questions. Selling David Luiz.
That's what'll pop up. That's what'll pop up.
95 seconds between the second and the third goal.
Wow. That's that. I mean, it's not that generous now, given how Chelsea have sort of deteriorated second half. But what's an introduction to life in the Premier League?
What's the age of Christensen and Zuma? As in terms of it's like a centre back. You know what I mean? It's
a partnership.
There's a partnership.
At least with Van Dijk, with Gomez, he's got Van Dijk next to him, hasn't he?
Yeah. I suppose it was chaotic first half, but there is a bit more intensity in United's pressing, and that been a bit more fearless in terms of where they're positioned at back four when they're out of possession as well. They've been much higher at the pitch.
If you're two centre backs or a back four and you're facing Martial and Rashford, and you're wanting to play a high line, and we've just seen the quality of Pogba's pass.
Yeah.
Like he has shown the pass last season against Tottenham to Rashford that time. Similar, they've got a great link.
Chelsea free kick, whipped in, good ball. Oh, headed over. John, how damaging could this be? Because we saw the first half. If anything, I think we're sort of in agreement. Chelsea probably had the better chance, even though they're 1-0 down. Performance-wise, we spoke to Zach Jalab at half-time. Chelsea fan at Old Trafford seemed quite happy with how things are going. The scoreline now is 3-0. If this suddenly becomes 3 or 4-0 in Frank Lampard's first Premier League match, how damaging would that be?
Yeah, look, it will be damaging, but the way the social media world will react and is reacting already, it's crazy. But look, Frank Lampard will be given time. But the momentum swing for Solskjaer is going to be huge from a result like this.
He needed to give in the end of this.
Exactly,
and
I think with maybe people talking about they could have got a striker in and they could have got another midfielder in.
To be fair to look at the intensity of the press there. There's so much more.
Really, I mean that's where really sharp as well for game one as well.
And to be fair to Ollie, that's what he spoke about. There's a chance there.
Chance for Chelsea on the attack. Pedro.
Giroud was a.
Is this where you bring on someone like a Greenwood now when you're 3-0 up?
Greenwood or James.
Confidence
for the Chelsea obviously have to go for a bit more, and the counter-attacking pace of Greenwood or James will.
You wouldn't want that.
If you're that defender, you're not wanting that coming on.
Mentality-wise, like Chelsea 3-0 down, you're back 4, 20 minutes left. Do you actually still believe you can get back into this?
Oh, totally you can. With the quality of players these two teams have, you're thinking one goal before 75.
Yeah, you've got a chance.
You're thinking, okay, next goal by 85. You're thinking,
there we go.
Harry, you're worrying about the commitment of pushing too many players forward with what we've just spoken about, the counter-attack. If they do, Ollie might think, I'll leave Rashford and Martial on. You know what I mean? I know it's early on in the season, but getting that confidence.
Get the goals tally up.
Well, we talked about getting the goals against like top opposition as well, isn't it? Like Rashford and Martial scoring against the top six.
Yeah.
Very tidy.
It's interesting with Solskjaer as well, because with Sky Bet made Ole Gunnar Solskjaer favourite to be the first Premier League manager to leave his position. 6-1 you can get Sky Bet. Of all the managers in the Premier League first to leave his position.
It's not unreasonable. Like the Solskjaer will be kind of in and around that list. Like talent-wise, where do you actually think Solskjaer ranks in the 20 managers we've got in the Premier League? I'd say it's the bottom half.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Well, that's on what evidence though?
Just with the pedigree of the others. Like I'm not. That might sound a little bit harsh because he's not really had the time to generate that pedigree. But is he? That's
the thing. I'd be saying, give him the chance to generate that pedigree,
but
then he can have a.
But that's the fairest way to rank them, though, right? Like, is he better than Brendan Rodgers? Is he better than Nuno Espirito Santo? Like, I wouldn't say so. And they're managing at the 6th, 7th, 8th clubs. It's Marco Silva.
But they're not managing Manchester United.
Yeah. How is this?
But without being that you know, without being a hero at the club, you know, formally, does he get opportunity? Like, it's great that he's got that.
But that's what's up for debate. He has. Now this season is his proper full season, and he's had a transfer window. So now there can be a lot more judgment put on him now.
And United do give managers a little bit more time, don't they, than your average club?
A couple of good subs to bring you. Jorginho has just gone off, and N'Golo Conte coming on for Chelsea. So your face is speaking 1,000. Not having
it
that
might
sub,
look like a defensive sub, but
yeah.
Obviously it can reshape the team to be more attacking. So I know you're.
Come on, John. Just you've got the 2-hour train up from Manchester. You're a Chelsea fan. You're 3-0 down, and you see N'Golo Kante come on. It's not the most inspiring, is it?
We'll
score a scream.
Another sub as well. Pereira is off. Daniel James on. Exciting to see him, John.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is the ideal scenario for him. He couldn't have scripted it better for him to come in to that 3-0 up, chance to show that blister and pace and get involved quite quickly.
Was he someone, obviously you've got more experience in the Championship than all of us? Even watching it, more so is what I meant. Do you think Daniel James is ready for that step up in the same way that sort of Maddison was last season?
Yeah, well look, maybe not as much.
Or is it going to be a slow burn?
Exactly, a bit more of a slow burner compared to Maddison. Maddison was really... I'm not sure how many games Daniel James had played for Swansea, but I don't think it was too much compared to Maddison.
Maddison had an amazing season for Norwich, didn't he?
Exactly.
He was going to go somewhere, you felt, if it wasn't Leicester.
And he was definitely more prepared for it, but he's quality-wise, he's definitely up for the Premier League.
I'm still not giving up on my Championship career, John. So, I hoping that you'll give me
also, we could have cut short what was a very good Ole Gunnar Solskjaer debate between Chris and John. So I suppose my follow-up question to that was, you know Ole Gunnar very well, teammate of yours for years. Have you spoken to him recently about Man United?
Oh, they were in.
What conversation have you had with him, and do you think he will be a success for Man United long term?
Yeah, look, I have spoken to him, but I know the type of player. I know how he... obviously, he's different a player to a manager, but I like the might approach, how he's going to manage, what he will do. He knew he faced so much competition to get into the team, to be in a squad. What it's like, what he knows how to get that competitive squad. He knows what he needs to see from his players, if they're going to be ready, if they're going to be able to perform. His examination and training of knowing, right, I'm not starting tomorrow, but I know what I'm going to need to get into the team.
On the other end
mentally, Ollie, you just knew the manager had so much faith in him to know that when he was going to come on, examining things of, right, he's going to produce for me. I can start him this game, I can't start him this game, and he'll know exactly that detail that will go into his preparation, because obviously he's not got as much experience managing yet.
No.
So he's got the opportunity.
That was the point you were making to Chris. That he needs that time.
He needs that time to be judged.
But it's
more
a little bit like Lampard, isn't it? It's an awful lot to ask. In a way, it's unfair asking them to produce that early on in their managerial career.
But exactly, but they know they will be judged harshly because they're at the clubs that they're at. So he will. He'll have to cope with that, and the only way you do cope with it better is.
We had Andy Cole on, didn't we? And he was saying that he didn't ever have him down as future manager. Certainly at Manchester United. So you did. You're saying you did. You got that. A sense of his characteristics and.
Well, you don't. I definitely would have got a sense of him being a man manager, being able to examine, seeing people, how they work, to get the best from a person.
Just good on a human level.
Yeah, totally, and that's a huge part of it now. When you look at, say, Guardiola, when you look at
Klopp
like. Pochettino, they're all kind of.
You adopt that into your coaching style.
Well, hopefully. Give me a chance.
Come on,
you're putting Solskjaer on that place. I've been in it a few weeks.
When are you going to take over at United? That's what I'm asking.
No, I really hope he produces, because you want a competitive Manchester United, don't you?
Totally.
You don't want them to kind of finish the season the way they did last season and just roll.
Say that.
Watch Ollie's interview. If it does stay 3-0 afterwards, or at the end, he will just be playing it down. Good start. Yeah. Just nice and simple. On to the next game. There won't be.
Well, he's already had that massive high and kind of massive.
Yeah, and that's where the judgment. That's where the judgment is unfair, because you have to give a manager a transfer window, a chance to adopt fully his ideas, etc. And that's where you'll have to give Lampard the time too to. Okay, Kovacic and Pulisic were in before he had the, or did he give the go ahead for Kovacic? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you probably had to, didn't they? Because they were banned. Just clear the red tape. Yeah, it's worth bringing him in regardless. Yeah. Good player, Kovacic.
It's an interesting point. Well, I think Chris makes a very interesting point that when you're looking at the players that, like, for instance, Conte's left out, whether he's fully fit or not, we don't know. But if that was under Sarri, you said earlier that he would be scrutinised, that Frank Lampard and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will probably both be afforded more time because they are such idols from a playing perspective with the fans, aren't they? Frank Lampard, you'd think the Chelsea fans, they will want that to work so badly, won't they? Because they adore that man.
Yeah, exactly. But you would imagine Kante, he
must be a reason.
He wasn't involved in the game against us a few weeks ago either. There was talk of him having obviously an injury, so you'd imagine that's the case. And so early on in the season,
away from home, you probably want to start.
You're thinking, I need to get some minutes into him. It's not the game to be starting him into. Although I'm sure if he has been training this week, he would have been able to cope with it. But you want him for the rest of the season. You don't just want him for the first game.
Kovacic, interestingly, bought 3 days before Lampard was announced. That deal was done, but as you say, Chelsea with a transfer embargo didn't have many other options in terms of who they could have brought in. Right, this is an interesting one. If it finishes like this, it will be Man United's biggest win against Chelsea since January 2009. That was 3-0 win at Old Trafford. You came on as a second-half sub that day. Can you remember who scored the goals?
Things up.
Oh, Rashford with another chance.
Oh, good.
That's Kante.
We'll stay with this until
so good, isn't he, Kante? So good.
Yeah, he looks quite fit there.
He looks very fit. So I'll repeat that now. Now it's a bit of a lull in play. Finished. If it finishes like this, it will be Man United's biggest win against Chelsea since January 2009.
You got it.
You won 3-0, Premier League win at Old Trafford, January 2009. You came on as a second-half sub. Can you remember who scored the goals that day? 3 goals for Man United, 3 separate goal scorers. Who were they? Don't look at the screen.
Is this for all of us?
No. Anyone? It wasn't Ronaldo.
Rooney.
Oh, Berbatov.
Rooney was 1. Berbatov was 1. Correct. Who scored the third?
Rio.
No.
John O'Shea.
No. I love how quickly you said no when he said John O'Shea.
Hold
so
on.
Rooney, Berbatov. Who scored the third?
Giggs. Scholes.
No, Nani.
Wasn't Nani. If anyone knows, get involved.
Anderson.
Wasn't Anderson.
Was Berbatov as a person as cool as his play?
Yeah. He was. To be fair, he was a good lad. He was quiet, like.
Do you think he'd be good for a football social, Berbatov?
Very good. Very good.
Just with a cigar on the end of the just like. Sorry, what are you boys talking about?
Third goal scorer.
Come on, get it in the comments now if you know.
Owen Hargreaves.
No, it wasn't.
No. I was like, he's annoyed.
Yeah, get involved. At Football Daily, at Soccerham. Who scored that third goal? It was Man United 3. Huh?
Chicharito.
No, it was 3-0 Man United at Old Trafford.
Danny Welbeck.
And 9.
Darren Fletcher.
Here we go.
Go on then.
Chance for Man United.
Lob him.
Pogba.
Oh, play him in. Oh, nice. Daniel James. What a dream debut.
Big goal! Man United running riot 4-0 against Chelsea. And is that man there, Daniel James? What a moment for that young man.
Incredible moment.
Yeah, because didn't his old man pass away as well recently?
Yeah, he spoke about it.
Yeah, that'd be great, like, for him and his family. That's fantastic.
Incredible.
How did Pogba sneak that through, by the way?
I was just going to say, everyone questioning Pogba, how's he? Ole Gunnar said it right from the start of pre-season. He won't be going. I obviously have a lot of faith in him, and he's repaid him today so far.
You called it as well with Daniel James running down them full
Yeah, look at it. If we probably go back and see the replay of it now, you'd imagine he probably caught up. I remember one of the pre-season games out in Australia. Was it Leeds or Port?
Yeah, they played Leeds. Sure.
But there was a counter-attack moment, and he flew past.
He carried it 90 yards.
Oh my God.
So let's have a look. Here's the replay. John, talk us through another counter-attack as well.
Does anyone see him come?
Great play from Matt.
Where is it?
Pogba,
we need to.
Oh, lovely touch from Pogba.
And I think he's messed. He's messed
took
it
a
up.
Deflection, but deserves a little bit of green now for being there.
You're going to imagine it's going to be on target. Yeah.
So it's going to be his goal. It will be awarded his goal because he was going on target, but the deflection does take it past Kepler. Worth pointing out.
There was a lovely bit of play there as well from, I'm sure it was Rashford. Was it Rashford or Martial just sliding it back into? Was it Martial?
Yeah.
Sliding it back.
And look at this. It's lovely, the emotions where you saw him point to the sky. Obviously, he lost his father. Very sad news recently, and this will be such a nice moment for that young man. Look at the raw emotion there.
The script for United today has been like
everyone who's been questioned, isn't it?
Well, not even like the signings that.
Quite reminiscent of when United beat Tottenham when Solskjaer first took over, and it was like Tottenham had a bit of the play, and it was those split forwards just kind of killed them.
Yeah, well, it's getting to a moment now. Sorry for Lampard. They've really got to.
Kante's a good substitution.
Yeah, you were questioning it. He's probably thinking, "No, let's keep it as it is," because.
Yeah, let's see how the Chelsea fans. Everyone was saying he's going to get the full year. He's a club legend. There's not really much to lose with the transfer embargo. If this happens against 2 or 3 of the big 6, and let's see how patient.
And also, it's worth pointing out with the goal and with the questions, we still haven't got the player that scored the third goal.
Tevez?
No, it's not Tevez. Doesn't matter how many times you say Tevez.
So Nemanja Vidic.
It is Nemanja Vidic.
In the first half.
No, he knows it now.
Yeah, now you know it.
Berbatov got the last one, I think. Anyway,
Vidic with the first, Vidic with the second, Berbatov with the third. Correct. Yeah.
I'd actually love to get Vidic. I think he could just.
I feel like I'd be talking to a hitman if Berbatov was
I'd be sat more like this. I'd be like,
if Berbatov was just on the end there and he's like silver suit, I'd be like, I'm just dripping with sweat. Just like, what do I ask him? He just seems so disinterested.
For Wan-Bissaka, Daniel James. Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Okay, just made a mistake. Yeah. Sorry for commentators cursing, but to experience Old Trafford like this in a first home game,
they just want it all the time.
Will just give them such a buzz. Such a buzz.
It's an underrated part of it as well. We speak about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but that backroom stuff with McKenna, Phelan, and Michael Carrick.
Ooh,
that could be. Is that slightly underrated and under
Totally.
Well, Chelsea are the same, haven't they? A lot of ex-players in the backroom staff at Chelsea as well.
It's definitely going to be underrated because look, Ollie would have come in, seen the work that the lads do, and obviously having worked with Mick before to get him alongside. But obviously he didn't have to keep Michael. He didn't have to keep McKenna as well.
Chance to Chelsea.
When Moyes came, he sort of gutted the whole backroom staff, and everyone was very.
That was the thing. You probably could have thought you could have done it, but waited a year.
Just do it gradually.
Do it gradually if you want. But understandably too, he thought that was his best thing to do. Clean cut.
Worked out well for him, obviously.
Yeah. So was Moyes there when you were at Sunderland?
He was, yeah.
Oh, sorry, man.
So, yeah,
he was.
Good manager.
Did a good job at West Ham.
Good timing.
It's a double substitution, John. Would you like to change the subject? John is going to change the subject by letting us know who is coming on the pitch. There we go.
Look, Greenwood and former Chelsea man Juan Mata as well.
He could pick this team apart.
Exactly. He normally always creates a goal as well when he starts for United too. So
it smells like
it's great that they kept him. Obviously losing Herrera, people were talking about him, but keeping Mata is very important too because of that experience.
Marcus Rashford.
This kid, look, speaking to people at the club and other people, they've obviously been very, very positive about him. But just the faith that Ollie has shown as well, and maybe not going. Maybe they were looking at another striker, but.
Watching those compilation videos of him like under 23 level, and he's just like murdering
everything. Even though I went to that Milan game last week, and some of the skills he was putting on, it's unbelievable.
I think he's going to get minutes this season. I think
he's definitely he definitely will.
I can't believe United are going to keep it clean. This is United's first. This would be, touch wood. United's. Why am I touching wood? I don't care. United's first clean sheet in 15 games. And instantly, that's going to be like Harry Maguire justified. This couldn't be a better first week.
He's already trying to pay back his fee.
Selling Lukaku, justified. Take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer off the bottom. It was at 6-1. Take him off the bottom. I think after this, it might be Frank, eh?
Yep. Yeah, Frank Lampard. He must have thought how they 1-0 down at half time, but the second half, Man United played brilliant football.
What did Ollie talk about? The team was Greenwood. That was nearly Greenwood. Wow.
That would be it's the perfect script.
If Greenwood had scored that, Ollie should have just walked in.
All that's missing now, the Mason Greenwood goal, and that is just a perfect day.
Just a white out from the side.
See you later, Frank. I'll see you inside.
But Man United have played some of the goals they've had, the build up to the goals, and some love.
Yeah, getting back to what Ole Gunnar spoke about when the work rate of the teams, the intensity. People were saying, well, surely United must be fit. The high intensity of teams, I think it might be wrong. Is it Spurs might have had the highest level of press and type of stats.
Yeah, Liverpool eased off a little bit last season.
Yeah, so
across the whole season, Spurs had the highest, I believe.
Okay, and so Ollie was clear on it. He said, "This is what we need to improve." So you could see it a lot more in the second half, not as much in the first half. You could see it a lot more. They've worked on it.
I was just about to say, what I've been really impressed with Man United is I was at Spurs yesterday, and Spurs, I think it's fair to say, weren't at their best. They didn't look at, there's a few misplaced passes. Arsenal, Dave, by your own admission, weren't as sharp as you've seen them previously. For first game, that is quite common. I made the point that I don't think you should read too much into first game when some players are late back to pre-season, you have injuries, etc. But I've been so impressed with how fit and how quick Man United have been in this game. They've just been on it, especially the second half.
If Emerson wraps away that one that hits the near post, then it could be a very good game. So,
but the fitness levels of United for game one look amazing.
No, but the thing I would say, if they couldn't do it the first game, then they're in big trouble. If they can't, because it's the first game at home.
The belief, the confidence, the momentum. You're thinking
at that high level. So. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a very, very good performance from United, but we'll kind of see where they are in a few games, I think. Right? So.
What's going in? So we're in the 88th minute, few minutes left plus injury time. Chelsea, United fans get involved in the stream. Will, what are they saying? There must be loads. What are Chelsea fans saying as well? 4-0. No one predicted this.
There's a few optimistic ones talking about a 5-4 comeback, but some people are already talking about Frank Lampard's legacy, if it would be ruined if he has a terrible managerial record, and just a lot of people just can't get over this United team. Just turning the performance in and the quality that they have done.
There will be lots more questions to be answered, but
a lot of people talking about the fact they've had nearly 60% possession as well, but obviously done nothing with it.
That was the case under Sarri a lot of the time, wasn't it? I guess that's kind of still remnants of Sarri, keeping hold of the ball.
But as you said, the chances, the shot from Abraham, that's a straight yellow on it.
You just feel like if Eden Hazard was on the pitch, one of them would have hit the back of the net, didn't you?
Oh, without a doubt.
More than one, maybe,
exactly. That was Daniel James getting taken out. I think it's going to happen quite a few times this season.
Daniel James,
that's what he's here for, isn't it? Stuff like that.
Exactly.
Run the clock.
But the timing as well to bring on Daniel James was just perfect, wasn't it?
And then for him to score as well was perfect, wasn't it?
Any more, Will?
Just a lot of people
comments.
Just kind of really in disbelief, much like ourselves, about Chelsea and sort of predicting their league position, and someone just put down for 10th place for Chelsea.
10th place?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, this is social media, so we take it with a pinch of salt.
Do you think of all the top six, if you're looking at a team that will struggle to get into fourth the most, do you think it will be Chelsea bearing on the fact that they haven't been able to buy players? And
that's a big part of it. And when you look at Arsenal's strike force,
Spurs have strengthened as well.
Spurs have strengthened, and obviously United have that vibrancy of maybe real like Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, like that young.
So easy to generate that feel-good factor if one of them scores as well, and then the fans just means so much more to the fans.
Exactly, and it's going to be tough. Like Giroud coming on, he normally makes other players have a lot more joy because obviously he links them in.
And he was great when Hazard was playing. When he had someone that played off
really
him.
It's the same with Griezmann at the World Cup as well, but equally, like, it's another year on. Like, he's not
not young, is he?
But if he's not starting games, then it must be hard to get a feel for,
especially to come on into a game like that,
high intensity matches like this.
Chances in again.
Go on, then, Tony. He's off.
I really can't see Frank Lampard being a manager come May.
Come May,
no chance. I think they'll be in and around maybe the 8th spot. I really do. And
what way do you think then, though? Because it's another January. They're banned for another.
Is it still? No,
I think it's a full calendar year, full season.
Full season.
So they can't strengthen
in January. Not as if they can give them a chance in January to.
Yeah, because I mean the thing is, it's all good giving the club legend the thing, but it's all fun and games. But if you're getting smashed 3-4-0 every week, I'm not saying this can happen every week.
But that's the thing. Look, obviously he'll know that himself. Yeah. If they're 15, 20 games in and they have suffered a good few heavy defeats, I don't think it will be. I think Everton's fell perfectly for United in the second half in particular, deservedly so, because of how they've played in the second half. But the first half, Chelsea will probably feel a bit aggrieved that they're going in behind.
Sure. I think
I mean, 4 minutes of injury time.
The quality in that squad, in Chelsea's team, they've still got one of the best midfielders in Europe in a midfield three. You know, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic. You know, maybe not as dynamic, maybe not as quite like as simpatico as like a Leicester, for example. When you partner with the forwards, but the quality in that squad should dictate that they're around
Chelsea.
They're around sixth, right?
Oh, mamma mia.
So I suppose the question is, if they finish sixth, and there's more high caliber managers in the market, do you give Lampard the time to grow, or is it just like, thank you for carrying us through this turbulent period?
Yeah,
here's another year. Like
that could be a way maybe the club were thinking. They think that
we're not appealing to exactly right now. Yeah,
so people looking at the budgets, or obviously there's no budget available, so I might hang on for a year or two and see if that job pops up then. You know,
bit of a thankless task. Yeah,
could be yours, John, in a year's time.
You know,
never say nothing.
Stone's throw from Reading, but
we'll see.
No. Right, so we're into the 93rd minute. 4 minutes of additional time will be played, and it's been just a perfect day for Man United, really. Well, can Chelsea get one consolation? It doesn't look like they can. Man United win the ball back.
Good tackle there from...
Still going there. It's a great game, this. I can't get over how open this is. Last chance for Chelsea. Are they going to get consolation? Oh, David De Gea parries it behind. It will be a corner. This will be the last chance of the game. Surely you catch that. Good saves from David De Gea. Hit the post twice as well. They have had chances, Chelsea, but they've just not been clinical enough. And that was quite a routine save. Possibly could have caught that. Who am I to critique David De Gea because he is a much better goalie than I will ever be?
I'm catching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not a goalkeeper in the future.
If you see me coming out for a corner, don't worry, I'm not catching that.
It's another header from Harry Maguire.
Yeah. I mean, the show's got social media.
There we go. Full time. That is the full-time whistle. These are the scenes right now from Old Trafford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beaming, the smile. Oh, someone wanted to get a photo of him. Didn't quite get it, I don't think.
That's the respect. He didn't want to be stopping him.
Good point. They wanted to shake Frank Lampard's hand.
Go straight in.
Great game of football. 4-0 Man United won. It was a good first half from Chelsea. They had their chances. They didn't take them. Rashford opened the scoring with that penalty. Martial was on the score sheet as well. Just a perfect day, John, really.
I think at the interview with Sky, I think Sky did before with Rashford, I think he'd spoken about we just feel a bit more settled.
Okay.
And I think the second half performance just kind of really shows that. Obviously, they've had the injection of Maguire, James, but I think the feel about the place was more settled.
And they've all played as well. It's worth pointing out, I asked you at half-time who you're most impressed with. You said Wan-Bissaka. We did the stats about how well Harry Maguire played. Daniel James came on and scored. It's been, for the three debutants, a
clean
great
sheet
day.
As well.
Pogba's pass.
Yeah.
Just the 2 assists for him.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, but his attitude stinks, so that's the main thing.
Look, you'll see. The only worry is now. Obviously, there's a European transfer window.
Juventus is apparently still trying to put some together. Juventus to bring him.
There's
home.
Frank Lampard going to thank the travelling Chelsea fans. Long journey home for the Chelsea fans.
Well, here you go.
As the hand goes up.
What's your French
connection
goes up.
Oh no, good French.
Parlez-vous?
Yeah, what's your French? What are they saying? Obviously,
Giroud saying 6-1 on Solskjaer. No chance.
No, we
that's what I say.
Don't have French lip readers, but obviously Pogba and Martial very happy. Great game from Paul Pogba. And what a perfect day, really, for Man United. Well, let's go to the comments. There must be loads of happy Man United fans and dejected Chelsea fans. Let's read a few out. What are people saying on the stream?
From someone called ECS said, which moron thought Frank Lampard had the ability to manage Chelsea?
Wow. Bit of a spicy one. Right.
Daniel Carlson says, where do you think United will finish, John? I know you think they've got a real good chance for that fourth spot.
Yeah,
and that was pre-today, wasn't it?
No, exactly. I had the belief that they have enough quality to get into that top four, but it's a game like today. They're going to be bigger challenges, bigger tests for them to come, as in sustaining that kind of form. But I think they can definitely get into the top four. It's going to be close because Arsenal today obviously had a good win away from home, and with a team that started probably without 5 or 6 maybe starters that will be in about fitness wise, so they have improved amazingly from, I think they had a budget of 40 million. They played that one well, didn't they? Well, I must have to remember that one if I get into management down the line. We only have a budget of 15 million. Next thing, 200 million spent. But no, look, there's going to be lots more challenges to come, but I think they can. I'd said it before the game today that they can get into that top 4. But we spoke about momentum they can get from this too. If they can get on a bit more of a run, they'll have a lot.
Man of the match. We saw shots of Paul Pogba there. We saw Martial. It's tough to pick a man of the match there. If you had to pick a standout player, if John O'Shea was awarded the man of the match award, who does he give it to?
Probably go for Rashford. Probably go for Rashford. I think how he won the penalty, took the penalty, how he finished his goal, the intensity he brought to the team. But you'd probably go to Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, the Pogba's assists. But I think Rashford just edges it.
It's nice when you're mentioning all these players. It's tough for you to answer. It just shows how well it's been for Man United.
Exactly, and look, it'll be interesting to hear the comments now from the studio in Sky there with Mr. Mourinho and Mr. Souness.
Jose Mourinho in the studio. Yeah, it will be, won't it? And absolutely loads of you joining the stream now, so let's get straight to social media questions. Thousands of you joining us for the post-match reaction. I imagine a lot of happy Man United fans. Let's take some of the comments, Will.
Yeah, people talking about the back four of Chelsea. Obviously, we were talking about Lindelof and Maguire, not played experience. Is that what Chelsea suffered from with those back two?
A little bit, and I think obviously with David Luiz just leaving, there will be a bit more scrutiny on that as well. Going just before the first league game, so there will be, and obviously a lot. He picked Emerson ahead of Alonso. That's another one maybe Chelsea fans might be thinking. But look, Azpilicueta has a lot of experience there as well, and he's he'll be under more pressure. He'll be wanting to organise a lot more, and it might take. He's accustomed to it, but it might take away a bit more from his game. That he's having to kind of cope with everyone else inside him and trying to help them. But no, look, they definitely have a lot to work on.
A lot of people mentioning Sarri in the comments as well. Do we think he was almost underappreciated last year by Chelsea fans?
Very much. Chelsea finished third, won a trophy as well.
Okay, don't worry. May played very, very well today. But if Chelsea had taken their chances, this game's completely different, right? So let's I think that Sarri was respect the level he was. He did a very good job. He managed to win the league title. We managed to win the Europa League, and he got them back in the Champions League football through the league. I don't know what more he could have done, to be honest. So I don't know if that makes him under pressure or over. I just think it's going to be a tough job for Frank Lampard. Like the fact he can't bring any of his own players in, which is I think they'll struggle the most. I really think they'll struggle to get anywhere near the top 4.
Chelsea were unbeaten in their first 12 Premier League matches last season under Sarri.
I mean, it's difficult to bring in. Like when you're a manager, obviously changing the system, and Sarri had a very specific, rigid system. Changing the system is so difficult without being able to sign players. So you sympathise with Lampard from that perspective. But the sort of disdain that was constantly shown to Sarri, for his predictable substitution, Barkley coming on for Kovacic, sort of so on and so forth. I think what he was achieving, and it was maybe after February, people started to criticise him a little bit less when they went that strong run towards the end of the campaign. He was doing a lot with quite limited personnel. Obviously, having Eden Hazard helps, and not having 30 plus goal contributions, at your disposal when your defence is a little bit, doesn't pick itself. Can't help either. But to answer your question, I think he was probably the best suited candidate to get them Champions League football again. But is this going to be a long-term project for Frank Lampard, or is it, like we said, just kind of babysitting for a little bit? Well, never know with Abramovich.
The stats, it's an interesting one because Chelsea actually won a lot of the stats comparative to Man United. Obviously, people will look at the score. These are the important one. The one that John cares about is the 4-0 scoreline at the top. If you look, Chelsea had more attempts, more on target, more corners, and more possession, John. So Chelsea winning all of the stats except the important one, losing 4-0.
As we spoke about how they played in the first half. If Abraham's shot, he's caught it so clean that just drifts in a bit more. Emerson's.
United felt like high quality chances, though, didn't they? Where a few of those Chelsea shots, I don't remember until about the 75th minute, David De Gea making a save, and there was a couple from outside the area. United, I think defence coped pretty well with in terms of.
That's a lovely ball, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just watching replays of these
goals. Kick-off as well.
I'm excited to say as well, I know that Dave and Chris will be very happy about this next part because Zach can join us again now. Big Chelsea fan.
What's the score, buddy?
Zach, we're watching an absolutely beautiful photograph of you appear on our screen, smiling, beaming, wearing an England shirt. I imagine you're not smiling so much now. 4-0. What on earth happened in that second half?
Oh, mate. The term, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. That's how I feel.
Can you start to explain what went wrong for Chelsea? Because we spoke to you at half time and you were saying how well they performed in the first half, albeit you were 1-0 down. What do you think went wrong? There we go. He's speechless. He's gone. He's left us on that. As soon as he started asking what went wrong, he had enough of it.
His signal, yeah.
Unfortunately, we have lost Zach, but he did sound sounded quite dejected. So maybe,
I actually think he put the phone down there.
Do you think he did?
He's got
to work his way back, but we'll try and get back to Zach, of course. In the meantime, let's go back to Will. Any further updates on what people are saying about any Lampard?
Put you back on, Will.
You were talking about Lampard. Sorry, yeah.
Put you back on. There's me other questions, Sean. There's me other questions.
Downloading a movie over there. Go on, what are people saying?
Football Manager. No, people just talk. How much of a confidence boost will it be for that back four? De Gea obviously questioned at the end of last season, but new back four, clean sheet, great momentum.
Great momentum, but the exact perfect scenario from we spoke about Maguire coming in and Ambassador, but for me as well, a big bit of business to get De Gea to stay was crucial as well.
Good news. Zach is back with us. Hey! Zach, this is how excited we are. So we were asking you what went wrong second half. You were unfortunately interrupted. So, tell us what happened in that second half.
Oh, mate. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure what to say. It kind of felt like United came out with in the next gear, whereas Chelsea never really seemed to kind of go out of second gear. And in the first half, I actually thought we were unlucky to go in. Not having scored. I mean, we hit the woodwork twice, and then it kind of felt like Tammy Abraham started to find, the fitness of the Premier League a little bit hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the first 45 was actually pretty good. Quite a lot of the Chelsea players, whereas the second half just didn't seem quite up to it. Look, it's not a surprise. Like Frank Lampard is a brand new manager. Things are going to be different. Like it would take time. Well, they've had Ollie now for at least 6 months, so it will take time. It's a bit disappointing, but I mean. No, I really want 4-0. That was the sad part. 2-0 I could have taken, but 4 makes me cry.
Lampard out by Christmas, Zach. Is that what we're saying?
Sorry.
Go on, Chris. Do you want to repeat that?
So, do you think the Chelsea fans will, you're going to stick by Lampard? A couple more of these results go against you.
Yeah. No matter what happens, they'll stick by him. At the end of the game, they will still all sing Super Frank. They all love this. Frank went over to the clapping. Yeah, with Frank Lampard, no matter what happened, like literally no matter what happened, he was the worst of the worst.
Oh, wow. It's definitely not true.
Yeah, we'll hold
that. Zach, on a serious note, Zach, obviously you've lost 4-0. It's a big defeat. I'm coming to the positive. I'm not just trying to dig you out. It is 4-0. It is Man United. It is Old Trafford. Are you worried now throughout the season, or do you just think this is one result? Things went against you, a bit unlucky. How do you think this affects the rest of the season for Chelsea?
As you said, I think it's just one result. I think we'll see. As always in Sunday, the first 5 games are arguably the most important. That's where you set some solid ground, and that's where you can work upon. I mean, the boys look like they've got a lot to work on. But I mean, they've got the team there. Jody Morris, the assistant manager, and the rest of the guys. There's definitely something there. Look, there's no way I say we'll be challenging for the title. Our aim is top 6. And kind of we'll see where we go from there. I mean, we haven't had a transfer window, and we've had to use our youth to the best of our degree. So I'm just trying to see how we'll see this as the season goes.
And next game, Leicester at home. Another tough game that for Chelsea,
massive game, Zach. Absolutely massive game, mate. 6 pointer.
John O'Shea has just described that as a 6-pointer.
Oh, all right. Let's calm down. Jesus. Let's calm down. No, I think Leicester will be a big game. Leicester, as you said, it'll be a massive game. They win today? I haven't even think.
They drew 0-0 to Wolves.
I mean, we struggled against Wolves last season. We struggled against Leicester last season. So and we haven't added any other players to our squad. So it's going to be a tough game, and a lot of our games are tough. That's the Premier League for you. You can lose any game. So we'll just have to see what happens, really. Let's hope the boys put the work in on the training pitch. And I think we've got Liverpool midweek, haven't we?
No Super Cup, isn't it?
You have, yes. It's
Istanbul. It's going to 5-0, isn't it, mate?
No easy games, Zach, for Chelsea coming up.
Oh, no.
Yes, I'll be tired.
Zach, on a serious note, thank you very much for joining us from Old Trafford. Get home safe. He sounded like he was more happy than I thought he would be.
Yeah, I think
Takes it all in stride.
Is that just that?
No, I think he's probably been on the waters. I think he's had a few waters. Yeah. Yeah, big.
Sounded like he was underwater there.
really enjoyed that. Just finally, John, great day at the office as well. Man United, realistically, where do you think? Looking at where you think they'll finish, and has that changed based on what happened today?
No, I just think if they can compete solidly for the top 4, get into the top 4 comfortably, the new signings keep growing in stature like they had done today, and win the Europa League, win that competition, win a cup. Like, it's those type of things they should be aiming for. Inside, they would have been talking about winning the league, but obviously I think they're not. The squad isn't up at Liverpool's or City's, but I think they could, with the momentum they could get from a result like this, they could be thinking, well, we can finish ahead of Spurs.
They started to put together, that trophy cabinet, didn't they? Building that winning mentality under Mourinho, but then he kind of fell out with the players. I don't envisage that happening with Solskjaer. So you think if they can find the same level of success, then internally the camp is going to be a little bit more, simpatico of one another.
Without a doubt, and especially from what Rashford spoke about earlier on before the game today, about how settled everything was within the camp from the pre-season, from the players arriving.
When you hear that as a player, ex-player, you're like, oh, that's genuine.
It's genuine. Totally. And you can tell, obviously, from last season, Mourinho was looking for signings, looking for certain things, and it just felt unsettled.
Edgy,
it felt edgy. He'd spoken about it, so it's one. It's good timing, wasn't it?
He looks more annoyed timing. Looking at
shaking the head now.
He looks more annoyed that they've won 4-0 than he's happy. Great performance by Paul Pogba.
So just looking at the shots a minute. Guys, that is all we've got time for. Thank you very much, John. Firstly,
John.
Lucky Omens from Man United. Will Brazier, always a pleasure. Brilliant work on Social Corner, as always. Chris and Dave, brilliant as well. Good day for your Gunners as well, Dave.
Lovely,
it's worth pointing out. Good day for Man United. And we, of course, will be back next week. The Football Social is on at 2:45 next Saturday. Soccer and Football Daily YouTube channel. So we'll be looking at a host of games then. So from all of us, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next week. See you soon, and here's our best bits. Play on for United. Half chance for United. Rashford.
That's a penalty.
Does he score? Yes or no, John?
Yeah, he scores.
He's too straight, John.
No, watch. There you go. Opens to the side.
John O'Shea says goal.
We can do Wayne not so long ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, look, he's...
He'll be a rival, isn't he? No?
Yeah, exactly. He said he's looking forward to face me on the sidelines. He said he's going to make sure he's not starting that game.
Last 5 minutes of the half. Chance for Chelsea. They've just hit the underside of the...
How is it not level?
What was it like to train with Ronaldo, and did he get past you many times in training?
Of course he did. He got past everyone in training, not just me.
With United.
Great.
That's a bit... Come on, United.
Do you think he'd be good for a Football Social, Berbatov?
Very good. Very good.
Just with a cigar on there.
Just having a go. He's on Barkley. It's 3-0 Man United.
What a dream debut.
Big goal. Man United running riot. 4-0 against Chelsea. And is that man there, Daniel James? What a moment for that young man.
Incredible moment.